Hey, what's up guys, Era94 back with another action figure review. Today we are looking at the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series, The Mandalorian. This is the BESKAR armor version of The Mandalorian. And as you can see, he is part of the new Black Series design, the new wave of Black Series. Come in this new package design. I love it, it's very nice. I like the artwork on the side there. On the back side we have the same image on the right there, and we also do get a read-up that reads, "His body is shielded by BESKAR armor, his face is hidden behind a T-visored mask, and his past is wrapped in mystery. No one is quite sure who this well-equipped stranger is." Alright, so I had to change that scenery just because it just makes more sense to have him in the outside setting. But here he is. Here is our BESKAR armor Mandalorian. I think this is the first one we've gotten. I think Hasbro struck first. I know Mafex is making one and SH Figuarts is making one, but they have yet to release it yet. So Hasbro struck first this time. He looks great, just like I expected it to look. A lot of details going on here, a lot of paint work. They definitely put most of their budget into this figure here, you can tell. But Hasbro does a great job, or the department that runs the Black Series and makes the Black Series always does a great job with the paint and details. So here's a closer look at the figure, and first things first, we notice that he has the Mudhorn sigil right there sculpted onto his pauldron. Just like the show, looks good, and I love the details here, the silver paint there, the buckles. We have some more silver paint there, the texture, the sculpt looks great. Black Series always does such a great job with that. We got the whistling birds right here, sculpted on there, looking nice. Down to his thighs and his shin guards. Just look at the paint work. Got the weathering going on there, multiple paint colors. It's all done very well. There's his other forearm, and then the back side. We get his little poncho or cape or drape, whatever you want to call it. It is removable. You would have to remove the helmet to remove it, and you can see some peg holes there, which we'll take a look at his accessories right now. We get his disintegrator weapon, just like the first release of Mandalorian. Same sculpt and all, that should not change, so that's fine by me. And then we got his jetpack, which he earns at the end of the series or the season right here. So now we can attach the jetpack onto his back once you remove that drape that we got. So the head pops off with the neck. I've been seeing this lately with Hasbro Black Series. It kind of looks like an SH Figuarts because that's how sometimes their heads pop off. But if you look underneath the helmets, lo and behold, there seems to be a head sculpt inside, just like the Clone Trooper and just like the Stormtrooper. There seems to be a trend with this wave. I can't take it off. It seems like it's glued, but I wonder what that sculpt looks like. Are we going to get an unmasked Mandalorian in the future? Possibly. But that's interesting. It's just painted, or it's not painted, sorry. It's unpainted. It's just gray color plastic. So the one thing I did dislike about this rifle is the ginormous peg that we get on the side of it to peg it on his back. And even this giant peg, it's so big that it doesn't even go in all the way. I mean, it doesn't even go halfway. Look how long that peg is, and it's barely there. Gets the job done, but it's, like I said, it's barely hanging in there. So it'll fall off pretty easy. And that was the same thing with the first Mandalorian. And here we have him with the jetpack. It seems like it kind of looks a little bit bare without that cape or drape over him. I'm going to try to put the jetpack on with that cape on and see if it works out. I just don't think it will. But here's a look at him without it and with the jetpack on alone. I do feel like the jetpack should have been painted a little bit more than what it is. Is this how it looks like on the show? I'm going to have to look back and see if it looked like this, but definitely isn't silver like the BESKAR armor. I mean, it probably isn't made of BESKAR, but still, you can see there, it's just a plain gray color. So the only reason why I feel like maybe it's meant to be with the cape on, because the head is extremely difficult to remove. I mean, it takes some force to remove and to put back on, so it just seems weird. But when you put the jetpack on, I mean, you get this here. There's really no way around it. I guess you can pull it off if he's in mid-flight and it looks like the cape's in mid-air, you know, flowing in the wind. That kind of makes sense. But if he's standing straight up, not really gonna look too good. And he of course comes with his blaster pistol. Just like the first release. And just like the first release, the rifle pegs into the back with the cape drape on just fine. So let's check out his articulation. The head is going to move up fairly well because that neck is articulated too. It's a separate piece. So it looks up pretty good. And of course you can bend the torso to make him look up furthermore. Looks down good as well. And left and right. Get that nice head tilt there. Thanks to that neck joint being that ball jointed peg. The arms are going to go forward just like this and back. You can go in and out about this far. The pauldrons are soft plastic, so they kind of bend and they prevent any further hindering. The arms have the butterfly joints just like the first Mando had. So that's there, you can see. So get some more range. No bicep swivel. We got the single jointed elbows that bend a little bit more than a 90-degree bend. And then we have a swivel at that elbow. We have a swivel at the wrist with a side hinge. And then we have a regular hinge on the left hand. Diaphragm joint at the lower torso. We get the tilt. Goes back and forward. This is very similar articulation to the first Mandalorian. So if you enjoyed that figure, you're going to enjoy this one. The legs are going to kick forward about this far. Back down, in and out. We have thigh swivels. Double jointed knees. We have an ankle hinge that goes forward and back. And there's the rocker at the foot. So checking out the weapons in his hands, we'll start off with the blaster pistol that he comes with, and it looks good, fits in just fine. You can also holster it on his side holster right here. This little strap pegs in and out, and that allows the pistol to go in and out. Next up we have the long rifle, and you already know what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to try to have him aim down the sights of his weapon, and he can do it. It looks so good. I mean, he can do it the best he can. Obviously the sights are way over here, but look at that. Look how close he can get that forearm to his face, the rifle up to his chest and to his face, with the butt of the gun right there on his shoulder, how it's supposed to be. Everything looks good, man. I love it. I dig it, man. The articulation on Black Series lately has been outstanding. So this is very important. I mean, why would we want a Mandalorian or a Stormtrooper or a Clone Trooper that has a gun? They're meant to be shooting things, but they can't aim down their gun, or they can't hold their gun naturally or nice or realistically. So I'm very, very happy with Black Series right now, what they're doing with these figures. Just outstanding work overall. A more relaxed pose with the gun in his hand. Looks nice and natural. I dig it. And I always like to try and get the figure to hold the weapon on his shoulder. Now I had to remove the finger out of the trigger, but you can have him just hold the butt of the gun right there, and looks good, just like that. Alrighty, and here is our Mandalorian party. We have the Black Series Mandalorian, the regular version on the right, and we have the carbonized version of the regular version on the left side there, with the brand new BESKAR armor in the middle there. So they're about close to the same height. I think he's spreading his legs apart a bit, so they're about the same height there. They do have different sculpts. It's not just a simple repaint. Now some parts are reused, of course, which makes sense. We have the shoes or the boots, the shin guards all look the same. The left side is the same exact sculpt, different paint, and then the right side actually has a different sculpt for that BESKAR armor piece. Compared to that one, it's not just repainted, that's a different sculpt completely. Now the gun holster, the harness is all the same. It looks like the right forearm is the same sculpt, but the left forearm is new because we got the whistling birds over on BESKAR armor, and we don't have that on the original armor. Chest piece is completely different, brand new sculpt, of course. The pauldrons are a brand new sculpt, of course. The helmets are the same, just painted differently. It's all silver on the BESKAR armor, and we have some rust or maybe some mud, some dirt on the original armor. I just have the carbonized version over on the left side just to have it there all posed up looking dope. It's the same, it's just metallic paint. And here he is next to the child, which looks great. I almost feel like this should have been packed in with this Mandalorian, but Hasbro went ahead and released it on its own, I guess just to get it out there to the fans that wanted it. If not, we would have to wait till now to get our child, and I don't think they were going to have that. And there is the new Stormtrooper figure that's part of the same wave here, next to Mando. Looks good. Here he is next to the Kamino Clone Trooper, part of this wave. And we have the Snow Speeder version of Luke Skywalker. Alright everyone, and that concludes my review of the Star Wars The Black Series BESKAR Armor Mandalorian figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Hasbro definitely did a great job making the BESKAR Armor Mandalorian. It's definitely going to be a sought after figure and everybody's going to want to get their hands on, just like the first original armor. It was interesting to see that there was a head sculpt within the helmet, but then double checking the original armor Mandalorian Black Series, it also has that head sculpt inside the helmet, and nobody thought anything of it back then. So I guess I never realized that figure had that too. But it doesn't mean we can lose hope that we will not get a unmasked version of Mando. I'm sure Hasbro will put out more Mandalorians in the future. I don't think they're going to stop here. And depending on where the show goes next, we shall see what's to come. Alright everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed all my reviews. Check out my previous Black Series figure reviews that I've posted. I posted the majority of this wave. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, found it informative. And if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And as always, have a great day. Bye.
That's crispy.